Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in a description box below. So today we're going to be looking at your new beginnings and blessings coming in. This is a timeless reading like I normally do. There's a certain pile that may touch on specific time frames for some of you depending on when you watch this video. But again, whenever you find it, you may have something that resonates for you. Take what does resonate and leave what doesn't. I will say that I typically don't do lighthearted readings. So even though this is about new beginnings and blessings, we get down to the gritty and things that you need to be held accountable for as well within that. And we just touch on some things that could help benefit you if you do as well. I think each pile has something of that nature. So, oh, I want to know that I am open for personal readings, but I'm not going to be uploading a video next weekend because it is a holiday. So I'm going to go home and visit family. So I will not be posting a public reading. So if you don't hear from me for another week or two, that is why. But yeah, I'm just going to get into the reading. It is how we normally lay out the piles from left to right, 1, 2, 3. I'll give you a minute to select your pile. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. Okay, pile 1, your new beginnings and blessings coming in soon. And immediately, I'm like my right hand is itching. So I just feel like there's some type of action that you need to take. And honestly, just looking at your cards, I can see that, right? I mean, you literally have the making a choice card. So, and other key indicators. So, yeah, so whatever it is, you probably need to just make that leap and do it. But I'm seeing that you have some hidden friends, or maybe I should say hidden allies, because they may not be necessarily friends, like you don't know them like that, or maybe you do. It's a general reading, but some hidden friends, some hidden allies that will be revealed soon. So like it doesn't have to be a case of extreme secrecy surrounding the situation. You just may not realize how much support you're getting from one or more individuals. Okay, lots of cards here that have that energy. So I know we're asking about new beginnings and blessings coming in, but you specifically, pile 1, I feel like you've already stepped into a new beginning or are about to step into one. Like you're probably not most of you, I feel like it's a good balance. Some of you just stepped into a new situation. Others of you are contemplating whether or not that's the right decision to make. And I feel like you kind of selected this reading just to see. So whatever's being presented to you, either way, all of you here are already in new beginning mode. So like maybe some people in other piles might have the perspective of, ooh, I'm sitting here, I'm kind of waiting, I wonder what's coming next. For you, you kind of have a visual of your options for what's coming next or what's available to you now. You just kind of want reaffirmment or just some guidance on how to proceed or how to maneuver the new situation. And that's the perspective of this pile I'm going to take just because a lot of you here have that energy. So I'm already feeling myself with this very generic speech. Like this, the energy coming in is very generic, and like it could be work, school, general career, partnership, friends, family, love. I just feel like and this isn't the first time I've had this energy coming from a pile, and I will be more specific, but what I've come to realize is that when the messages in a pile come through this way, like extra generic, extra vague, it means that each person selecting this pile has a very specific situation already in mind that they're inquiring about. And because as you know, my readings are super detailed and super specific. That's just my reading style. So it just kind of throws me off when I don't feel like I can be as detailed as I want. But I guess there's just so many scenarios, so many specific situations. Again, a general reading. It's not a personal reading for one person. So I'm like, it's generic enough that everybody selected in this pile can apply it to those very specific circumstances that they've experienced. Because I do see a lot of past trauma in this pile. So like all of you experienced different types of like situations and hardships. It's not going to be cut and dry. So you're probably not going to get a full backstory out of this pile just because it's so specific to all of you. So we're just going to get to the gritty of the stuff, right? So this new beginning you're already in, wondering if you should step into this new energy. You have, okay, so I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to start, honestly. So let's look at that making a choice card, okay? You have that ending in that row of oracles. Like there's tarot cards to the right of that, but there's 4 oracle cards there, right? So you've got making a choice ending with encouragement. And with the 2 cards in the middle of that path, right? I'm just going to say making a choice and encouragement, that you're being encouraged to make whatever decision this is and to proceed with the activity that you're questioning. Like that is not a question of whether or not. So if you're here for a yes or no answer, yes, you should do the thing, whatever the thing is. So with unexpected visitors and bone collector, it shows me exactly why you're here, and which is to get clarity on what you need to do. But I'm just getting a strong energy, especially with those 3 reversals at the very top from the Lenormand deck. You've been feeling lost and stuck for a while, like lost in the forest, like the forest card, lost in your shadow, that shadow card. And the unexpected visitor card says that this new beginning or opportunity is not the direction you thought you would have to take, right? You're being pushed in a new direction. You had a plan, you had a schedule, you had a routine for your life, the way that you would planning your day at home, right? And now you have something knocking on your door uninvited. And even if it was to some degree invited, it wasn't like I'm seeing the word format, like the format in which it occurred was not what you were expecting. So it threw you for a loop. Okay. And because you've been stuck in those reversals, this unexpected visitor, right, is extremely uncomfortable for you. And I feel like you struggle with change in general, Pile 1, but this unexpected visitor has just been extremely uncomfortable for you, especially with that 5 of Swords there. That's you resisting the situation. Like lots of resistance. And Like, okay, so like let's look at those reversals just so I can explain how it applies to how this unexpected visitor just really threw you for a loop, like this unexpected situation. It could be a person, a romantic connection you weren't expecting, school, work, any of those things, right? But so you have the fox in reverse, right? And it means to some degree you can't hide anymore. So whatever you were hiding from, you can't do that anymore, because this new beginning, it has you much more visible and exposed than you've ever been. Like you have more attention than you're used to. So I could see a lot of you it being academic recognition, sorry, like recognition in your academic performance, recognition in a workplace career, like just more visibility, or just more visible, more exposed emotionally in a connection, right? Like that. So foxes are also representative of being clever and resourceful. I'm sorry, I'm like tongue tied. So like it's I think that's you right now. Like you're not quite sure what to say, how to move, what to do. Like you're kind of stumbling over your words in like not necessarily in a day-to-day life literally, but like you're kind of unsure, uncertain in this new territory you're in, right? So foxes are known for being clever, resourceful, quick-witted, right? Very smart. You're not feeling that way right now due to whatever choice you have to make or new energy you've stepped into. You've been thrown off your game. And you know, new beginnings often bring new territory, new experiences that you may not feel equipped for. Okay, a lot of you may be learning a new skill, gaining a new perspective where you don't know as much in this new situation as you thought you did in the old one, or as you did in the old one. It's like when things are unfamiliar, it makes you uncomfortable. I keep using that word because that's you right now, very uncomfortable. Okay, so you're learning. Some of you are starting over, and that's what that fox in reverse represents. It's just you not feeling as prepared or as knowledgeable or as understanding as you have in past situations. And then that's followed by the dog in reverse, right? So again, with new space, you have new people, maybe a new team, new friends, could be a new lover. It's you not being comfortable being vulnerable yet, because dogs represent loyalty, right? You have trust issues. So the new environment you're stepping into, it just makes you miss the old connections, because even if those connections weren't necessarily healthy, at least you know, like you knew where you stood with those people, right? You're missing what's familiar. Okay? And in that starting over energy, it does feel like an academic change, a career change for some of you, a new lover, rebuilding trust, right? Because we're in that card with the dog, rebuilding trust with an old lover, like something like that, something of that nature. But you're being encouraged to push forward, because loyalty, trust, that comes with time. You just have to be open and receptive to building that with new people or rebuilding it with an old person, okay? So the last reversal you have is the coffin in reverse. And again, that's more of that extreme resistance I'm getting from this pile, an extreme resistance to change, okay? So something about this feels like a risk to you. Like you've put all your eggs in one basket, especially with that judge and thread card underneath it. It's weaving this path, right? Like it feels like weaving this path will create a permanent shift. And it's something that you won't be able to erase or back out of. So, you know, coffin in reverse, that's like no death, no ending, no running away. It's you all in and stuck, at least for the time being, okay? So like you have coffin reversed and then back down, like I mentioned earlier, back to that bone collector card. So coffin in reverse, And Bone Collector, especially with that Five of Swords, resistance, right? Lots of resistance. And just specifically Coffin and Bone Collector is just refusing to let this old situation, this old energy, that old experience die. Okay, let it go. You're collecting bones. Okay. The Bone Collector card talks about clinging to the past, and clinging to past experiences and traumas, and you projecting them into new situations and environments. Like it says, you aren't living in the present moment as it is because you're viewing it through the lens of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Okay? So, like, you're at a crossroad where you have to consciously make a choice, right, with that card to fully embrace this new experience in that unexpected visitors card and release those bones, that baggage. Okay, you're being encouraged to do so. That's why you have that encouragement card. It, like, you're on the right path and this is where you're supposed to go. So again, I said it earlier, those of you here that have a yes or no question, yes, move in that direction that you have the choice to do so. And if you have multiple choices, the one that sounds more familiar, the opposite, not the one that sounds the most familiar to you, the one where the situation I'm describing is the most familiar, that's the one you should take. It's probably the one that's going to make you make the biggest change. I can tell you that already. So and just so that you feel comfortable, because some of you are already in this new energy and just kind of like having doubts about whether or not you should have done it. You shouldn't be doubting it. And some of you are trying to see if you should go. If you look at the top, you have soul time and emergence. So soul time, it basically says that you're right on time. You're right on schedule for your life path. And the card says to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, which is interesting because the only other card you have from that deck is the emergence card. So that's a key theme for you, emergence, right? And emergence is telling you to kind of approach reality with a childlike attitude, like a new innocence, an open and honest perspective, being very receptive to the situation in a way that you kind of, it's against your nature. Okay, so like I'm feeling like most of you looked for this video because like if you typed in YouTube search and it popped up, I feel like you looked for this video because of this new beginning you're stepping into, but you're being led in this direction. Okay, you're fully supported and encouraged. Okay, and you're being asked to open up. That word emergence is a key theme. Okay, so we're talking about new beginnings, we're talking about blessings, but this new beginning that you're in is a blessing. It is a blessing. It's a bigger blessing than you realize right now, because you not only do you have to emerge, but you have to allow the situation time to unveil, because I feel like it's very early on for you to be deciding whether or not you made a poor choice, or just to simply be afraid to step into that energy in general. So I'm seeing that acting on this, or just kind of buying into it fully and like proceeding as you are, will really take you to the next level. Like I'm hearing credentials, work, career, like to the next level, your relationships and friendships to the next level. Again, it could be a new love of your life, it could heal an old love. Like it applies to all relationships. It just depends on what the specific situation I'm describing for you personally is. Okay, so just if you release this guarded energy of that Five of Swords, you'll really get that enjoyment. You'll get some celebration. I'm hearing collaboration, even though that's not the card. Like I'm looking at the Three of Cups. Um, but it feels like Three of Pentacles. So maybe a lot of you, this will be like working friendships as well. But that Three of Cups is just celebration, friendship, enjoyment. Like it's a celebration. It's fun. It's enjoyment. So, and I'm also seeing that you're going to gain knowledge and experience, especially if this is career and academic. And even if it's not, if it's relationships, friendships, romance, it's just going to establish some healthy communication and understanding with that Knight of Swords. Okay, so the best part of this spread is that it is ending with the Page of Cups. Okay, it just really shows that it's just, this is just the literal beginning of more beginnings for you. And I keep hearing the words starting over for you, and like I'm hearing it like from a negative perspective, like that's how you see it. So I'm telling you, this is a good thing, because I clearly see movement and progress where you were once stuck. Okay, the Page of Cups says that this opportunity will soon lead to another opportunity and another opportunity. Okay, so I'll give examples. If this is school and you switch majors in undergrad, it'll open up an opportunity probably for a specialized master's degree that you didn't realize existed, or an internship that may not be as competitive as your previous major, right? If it's work, I can see like shifting to a new department is going to give you more skills and experience in the overall industry. Now that's important because it's going to open up not opportunities, not just from that company you're currently with, but like other companies as well. And even if you want to stay where you are, because I'm seeing a lot of you, these people in the background are people, like these are friends, loved ones, mentors, teachers that kind of want you to stay put regardless of the situation. But like those of you specifically with work, being in multiple departments within a company kind of is good to do, just because it helps you, it gives you experience that other people may not have, multiple perspectives, right? Like we talked about earlier. So like for example, if you left accounting and went to business development, like now you have both accounting and business development in your background in that entire industry. Now that's very useful to have on your resume. Those of you in romantic connections, if you suffer from trauma from a past relationship, being open and receptive to this new relationship, you may evolve with this person, maybe get engaged, possibly married. Even if it doesn't work out with this person that's helping you emerge, you'll be open to another person that may eventually lead you to the person you're meant to open up with. And even if this is not a completely new situation, if it's past, you being open and being receptive to releasing those past traumas and start over with this person you treated like a new relationship, you might be able to move further, right? So things like that. I do see lots of people floating in the background. I feel like I mentioned that a couple of times. It's because again, like they're just in the shadows. A lot of you, like I said, it could be family members, past lovers, present lovers, friends, co-workers, bosses, mentors, teachers. Like those are the ones I'm seeing specifically, but it could be anybody, because I feel like these people want to keep you around. Okay? They want to keep you like not in your past energy. They don't want you in that past energy at all, because I'm seeing that these people are very supportive of you. They're very supportive of your healing, and very supportive of your overall journey. Like these are true relationships that are meant to be here to help you on your life path. But they want to keep you not stuck in a past situation. Like a good example would be a lot of you like to click my readings for romantic connections. If this is a past, like if this is an ex or a current partner that you're trying to work through a rough patch with, this person doesn't want to hold you back and make you stay with them. They're hoping you stay with them. They just want to make sure that in you staying with them, that you can heal from the past mistakes that have been made in a relationship and such, and move forward with a new energy within a relationship. Otherwise, they'll most likely be content with letting you go, just because they don't want to keep you stuck in that energy. That's a good example. But again, it could apply to career, school, all of that. But those people that are floating in the background that sound familiar, like, they're good people to have around. They're very crucial to your life path, I'm seeing. And I'm not seeing specific situations where they're supposed to be helpful. Maybe, again, it's very specific to you, but maybe you're not necessarily meant to know yet how critical these people will become on your life path. Like, there's some people that are really going to step up in your future that may surprise you. Okay. So I do want to do, like, this is a timeless reading, and I know I'm about to, like, mention the full moon, I think, in Libra today. So I want to pull some extra cards from the Moonology deck and the Spirit de la Lune. So I'm going to pause, shuffle, and see if I can get just a couple of cards just for more insights on each pile. Okay, pile one, this is exciting because your cards that came out for you really aligned with your energy and the overall reading, which, not that I didn't think it would, it's just when the card directly says something, or the card directly reinforces something that I said before I pulled it, it's usually confirmation for you. So you've got the North Node card, and that was the first one that came out. So what did I say? Step out of your comfort zone. Y'all, whatever relationship, work, school thing this is talking about for you, like, this is taking you to your North Node. If you are familiar with astrology, you know that your North Node in your natal chart, it embodies the lessons you're going to learn, you're meant to learn, the skills you're meant to acquire in this life. Okay, it's the path you're meant to take and the goals you're meant to achieve. That is literally where this thing that you need to do is taking you. So like I said, I feel like instead of this being a reading telling you what your next new beginning is or what your next blessing is, you already know what it is. It's this thing that you click this video to ask about. Okay, so yes, proceed as you have been. Make that leap. It's taking you on your life path you're meant to go to your North Node. Step out of your comfort zone, which I feel like is the message I've been giving. So from the Spirit de la Lune deck, you've got the Cancer card, which is the Nurturer. And it's saying to allow yourself some comfort, some relaxation. Allow yourself to indulge a little bit in life in general, okay? So just really take care of yourself, okay? This card is about, again, comforts, coziness, feeling home, okay? So you still want to embrace the new beginning, but you want to allow yourself some past comforts and some things that are familiar to you just to make the transition easy. Like, new beginnings don't mean throw the whole old life away. That's not what a new beginning is. It's a transition. It's incorporating your past experiences in a healthy way into your new life, okay? So, and with these comforts and things are familiar, I'm telling you, these people in the background, I think some of you, even if you're asking about like school or work, there's some love in the air, or at least just a close friendship, because like this person or people lurking in the background of this reading, that's been lurking in the background of this reading the whole time, they just really want to be your nurturer. Like, they want to nurture and care for you and be supportive, okay? That's a very encouraging energy, and I've been feeling it the whole reading. This person wants to help refine you on your new path. Okay, again, it's that starting over energy with that waxing crescent, just the beginning to see the, like you're just beginning to see the light of the moon again, right? So refinement is, it's development of new skills, it's new perspectives and understanding, and this is what you need. And I feel like there's at least one person floating in the background of this reading, floating in the background of your life, that really wants to step up and be that person to help you. It doesn't have to be romantic. Again, it's just a person that wants to nurture and refine you. Okay, it could be a mentor. It doesn't have to be romantic, but some of you, it is. Okay, so that is all I have for you today, Pile 1. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, Pile 2, your new beginnings and blessings. So, an interesting thing about your pile is that you did not get any cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle. That's just very interesting. So it's just showing me that you're likely having issues with just direction in general. Some of you definitely picked pile 1 because there's a similar energy here, but it's okay if you did not, because most of pile 2 feels way more confused, where pile 1 was more afraid and resistant to change. So pile 2, you're feeling really lost and unsure of where to go and how to proceed with something, but hopefully we'll figure it out. I feel like we might. So let's see. A small group of you from pile 1 might be feeling a bit over your head, like over your head, but that's just a seasonal feeling. I'm hearing do what you need to do to clean up the situation. Okay, so that's just a message for this pile. And some of you are or will be stepping into a leadership position soon, whether that's the social organization, a job, whether you're going to start teaching, taking on an apprentice. A lot of you are going to just be stepping in new territory, but again, we are asking about new beginnings, so that comes with the question. But the heaviest energy of this pile is whatever the situation is, you are going to have to prove yourself. Okay? Whatever position, to teach, lead, advise, whatever it is that I'm feeling there's another group of you that's not, like, a lot of you, this is career and like social and like what's the other word I'm looking for? Academic. But I'm also seeing people stepping in romantically, so I'll touch on that as it develops, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. Like, if you felt like you're asking about new beginnings and blessings and related to love and romance, this can still be your pile, even though I'm focusing on the career and academic type of vibes. And I'm also seeing like some people maybe looking to have children and everything as well. So like this is a very diverse pile, so just stick around and see where I get with you. But I am seeing that a lot of you that are stepping into this new beginning are doing so from a edge of arrogance and almost superiority. So that could be why some of you feel in over your head, or will at some point. But like that superiority is going to be humbled. Just work with me, because okay, so the crone is the first card. Oh, and by the way, I don't want anyone to get scared just because this energy of this pile isn't like lighthearted. Cause yeah, it's a good it's not lighthearted, but this is a good reading. You're getting the blessing that you're asking about. I guess I should lead with that, because you will. Even if it's not what you expected, or it's not what you how you glamorized it, you're going to get what you are seeking. Or if you don't have anything specific in mind, you're going to get a blessing that's really, that like at first glance is going to be amazing, but because you're looking at it with rose tinted glasses, once you step into it, you're probably going to realize, okay, it's a real life situation. It's not like a fairy tale, because that's not real life. But yeah, so starting with that crone, that card represents experience, wisdom, knowledge, and it's usually an older person. So I'm feeling like the new beginning you're in or approaching, pile 2, whatever the situation you find yourself in, it's usually, there's two groups. It's one where this situation is usually reserved for individuals that are older and more experienced than you. Okay, because I'm seeing that especially with that number 13 card, the child, a lot of you are very young in comparison to others on the timeline you seem to have stepped onto, right? So you may be advancing and skipping steps academically or in your career. You might be starting a family really young. You might be, for example, a really young teacher, like maybe you're teaching high school, which is late teens, mid to late teens, and you might be early 20s, something of that nature. The other side of it is that I'm seeing some of you, it's the opposite. So you might be older, stepping into an environment of younger individuals. Like you might be going back to school. You may have waited later in life to start a family, to start dating seriously and focusing on your romantic or love life. You may be switching careers into a new position that may be similar level or lower level than what you're coming from, but it's just totally different. So you're starting from the bottom. That's the energy of this pile, whether it's you're really young stepping into an older environment, or a little bit older stepping into more of a beginner energy. Whatever it is or will be, it'll be new, unfamiliar territory. And that's also where I'm getting a bit similarity of pile 1, but this unfamiliar territory, right? And spirit has messages of foreshadowing, and spirit has messages of advice, but I do want to make it clear, even though the energy here is of proving oneself, right? This new beginning is very much a blessing. It is the blessing you asked for, or a blessing you didn't know you could have asked for. And just because this isn't a lighthearted energy that I'm getting, right? That this new beginning isn't super lighthearted and fairy tale like, it doesn't make it bad. This is very stable and established energy, okay? Like with that dice card in reverse, you didn't get here by luck, okay? You worked very hard to establish yourself. You worked really hard to be able to start this family, to get promoted, to lead people, buy a house, start that company, whatever it is. Because even like buying the house, I specifically see some of you may have bought more house, aka a larger house, and now maintaining it is a bit more than you expected. Things like that apply to this pile, okay? So whether you're older or younger in relation to the thing you're doing, you basically, you're the crone, you're on path, and you reach that fault line card, that crack in the plan, the crack in the road that you need to make it past. And making it past this fault line is critical in your journey, because in this new beginning towards your blessing, that's the point in which you may get discouraged, or you may your shadow may slip out, and you may start projecting and maybe get yourself in trouble and fumble this bag, so to say, right? I'm really sorry if this isn't lighthearted enough for you, because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of times we don't do that here. So when we're looking ahead for blessings and things of that nature, we look at, like, I don't necessarily look for that, but spirit makes it a point to point out potential roadblocks and key issues, right? So that we can assess how to remove them or get through these situations, okay? Like, for example, I'm not going to tell you you're getting a major promotion, the youngest at your level, without telling you you're being evaluated. Keep up with your more experienced counterparts, right? And my ears are popping, so some of you are elevating, okay, like top floor. Congrats, that's interesting. But the point, I'm not gonna tell you that you're gonna conceive a child without mentioning that you will have a hiccup in fertility if I see that. I'm definitely going to tell these older people that are successfully switching careers and going back to school to humble themselves, because their previous level of experience no longer applies here. These are the messages you're going to get from me. So that fault line energy, that crack in the other, like that crack in the road, it's in two other places in this spread. That's why the energy is so heavy. So you've got the crone leading into the fault line, but then underneath you have the dice reversed and the bridge. So that's feeling a bit unsure, possibly unlucky once crossing the bridge into that opportunity, right? And then in the tarot cards, you have that Ace of Pentacles, which is a new physical beginning, a new physical journey, and that's bringing lots of anxiety into that Nine of Swords, right? Because after that Nine of Swords, you're working hard, you have lots of energy, being receptive to lots of energy and information in that Queen of Wands. And then if you go back following the dice and the bridge, you have that fresh start in the child, right? A new beginning. That child is brand new energy, learning from the start of something. And then it's going into the broom, which is, again, cleaning up a mess. It's working hard. So again, a strong emphasis on proving it. So spirit is emphasizing that shadow aspect of your blessing will be your inexperience in the matter. Whether, again, you're inexperienced in your career, romantic connections, parenting, in the knowledge of your health, anything like that. Man, my ear is really popping. So there's a lot going on with you guys. But the fault line is that humbling moment where you realize that you don't know everything and you don't have all the answers, right? Because following it, you have that Gnosis card, which represents life's mysteries. It's the unanswerable questions we have, right? And then it's following the empty room, which is the void, the space in your mind where you draw a blank. Okay. And it's also the space of possibility and potential. It's where you gain knowing, understanding, and expertise, right? And then you have the Earth card. It's representing the deepest connection to the physical plane. It basically says that you are getting exactly what you asked for, exactly what you're manifesting. And with that coherence card following it, it says it's time to harmonize with this manifestation. It's time for you to align with it. So the question is basically being asked, are you prepared for the blessing you asked for? Okay. Like, if you were given this thing or opportunity today, and my battery's dying. Oh, let me wrap this up. I may need to take a break and then come back and finish your reading. But basically, are you prepared for it? Okay, could you successfully maneuver the situation if you were given it now, right? Do you have that experience right now? And whatever blessing you've been wanting, it's coming in much faster than you're prepared for. Okay. Like I'm getting heavy career organizational vibes for people starting families. I'm also seeing people again heavy in experience with romantic connections. Whether that's because you're really young or because you waited later in life to do that. Um, all of you here will make it past that fault line depending upon your reaction to it. So if you are open and receptive to learning and gaining experience, you'll be able to maintain the blessing without compromising it. Okay, so I'm gonna pause and I guess charge my phone because I have to stop. Maybe that's what your fault line is. You may have to make a stop at some point, but I have to stop because I apparently am not prepared for this video. And I'm gonna charge and then I'm gonna come back and pull additional oracle cards like I did for the other pile. Okay, pile 2, I am back and fully charged, which I definitely believe was a message for this pile. So like with me needing to charge my phone that I use to film these videos, it just like that normally does not happen. And I feel like it was charged, but whatever. I just know that I don't like stopping mid-reading, so like I didn't know what to do with my energy once I needed to pause to come back. So it's like I got this wave of energy, so like I'm feeling like a lot of you are going to resonate with this pile from a perspective of health and fitness as well, because I was like, let me just go work out, and I don't work out consistently like I should, so that was not normal between readings. And then when I finished, I was like, I'm gonna let this sucker charge all the way. And I just went ahead and cleaned the whole apartment, like swept, mopped, vacuumed, all of that. So I have a clean house now that I'm back. so I exercise and now I have a clean house. So like spirit is really wanting this pile's, like the energy for this pile is really spirit wanting you to get it together. Like if you're not ready, get ready, because like I feel like you're constantly manifesting and wanting X, Y, and Z. You have certain goals you want to reach, certain love you want to come in, certain just all of that good stuff, but you're not necessarily doing what you need to do. Like you're not doing your physical part necessarily, so definitely get on it. And I went ahead and already shuffled your additional oracle cards. As I said in pile 1, I have like it's a timeless reading, but I wanted to, because it's a full moon, I think in Libra. I did not fact check that, so if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I wanted to do some pull a couple of moonology cards, pull a couple of Spirit de la Lune, and yeah, I mean honestly, just looking at your cards already, it definitely goes with what I was saying prior to. So you have the void of course moon, which is nothing will come of this situation, and that basically says what I just said. Things are not gonna move on its own, right? Like if you manifest in your mind and in your spirit, there's physical actions you need to take as well. And like I was talking about, like once you get certain goals, like certain goals you get that you may not necessarily be fully prepared for. Like if you get a job that normally older people get, or if like you start teaching people that are not much younger than you, things of that nature. Not limited to those things, but similar energies. You have to be ready. And even if you aren't ready, you have to be comfortable knowing that it's going to be a learning experience, an experience that you develop through. And that's what that nothing will come of this situation means. It's like nothing will come of this situation on its own. Nothing will come of the situation unless you take action, right? So you also have that mutable moon card, which is nothing is set in stone, which complements nothing will come of this situation, right? Mutable signs, that's Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini. So these signs tend to be more adaptive, and they are accustomed to change. They adjust where necessary, and that's the energy that you need to take on as you see these blessings start to manifest, right? As you see new beginnings into your life. Is basically the combination of those two cards. Nothing will come of the situation and nothing is yet set in stone. Is basically letting you know that you can't let the fault line card discourage you when it comes, right? There's always going to be growing pains when you enter new situations and try new things, but you can't get discouraged when you don't know everything or when things feel new, as you have to adjust when you realize you aren't perfect, right? You just have to push through and be open to learning and growing through the experience, because it's going to be a growing experience. It's not going to be a boom, I get this promotion, boom, I'm going to be in a relationship. Like some of you here are people that have never been in a long-term relationship. You're not going to just meet someone and be in a relationship and then it's going to be perfect, especially since you don't have experience having those types of connections. It's just not realistic. And that's what Spirit is warning you of, that shadow aspect of getting what you want prior to you being quote unquote fully prepared, because again, you're never going to be completely ready. You just have to dive in and learn. What else was I going to say? Oh, it also shows those of you in situations like that it shows you being evaluated, whether by some physical entity or person or tested by the universe, right? Like it's, do you really want this? Do you want this truly? Can you handle it? That's the energy, right? And if the answer is yes, then you'll quote unquote pass and you'll persevere through whatever hardship you have to face to get to the end goal, right? Like I said, the heavy theme of prove it. A heavy theme of prove it. And then with the Spirit de la Lune deck, you have piggybacking off that message, you have the wolf moon, sharpen instincts, right? Like go get it. Are you ready, right? Sharpening your instincts. It's to prepare, right? And then that other card before that, when you have waning crescent, which is support, which lets you know that despite all of these warnings, despite all of this energy stepping in, warning you of the shadow aspect of getting what you want possibly too soon, depending on how you see it, you are divinely supported, right? And you're also being called to rely on your support systems, right? Friends, family, the people you trust, right? For advice and support. Like that's the message, okay? So I'm wrapping it up now, Pile 2. I hope this resonated. If it did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, Pile 3, your new beginnings and blessings. Okay, so I'm just gonna lead with Pile 3. It's going to be okay, I promise. The underlying theme for a lot of people in this pile is just kind of silently suffering and having to cling to your faith to get you through it. So I see that you're all very deeply religious people. Like even if you don't broadcast it, some of you may not claim a quote unquote traditional religion, and that's okay. But you're religious in your spiritual nature at least. And I'm seeing that with the cross, the Hierophant, and the book, like the good book, right? So some of you may be specifically Christian. And I'm seeing crown chakra too, which is very spiritual energy. With the unseen, and I'm looking at the crown chakra card too, I'm feeling like a lot of you don't even realize it, but you are highly psychic and because it may not be developed, it's it reads more as intuitive, highly intuitive. Like you may find yourself knowing things, being aware of things, um, and it's just like a good guess or a good read. Like one of the phrases we use is putting two and two together. You're not just an analytical person. You see patterns and such that other people cannot. So that was a specific message for some of you. Um, but again, this is new beginnings and blessings, and I'm going to get to the good stuff. But again, we don't do that here. We don't sugarcoat things and make things overly fluffy and lighthearted when they aren't, because I feel like this pile has really been through some things and may be going through it. That's probably why you're looking for your new beginnings and blessings coming in. So, oh, I heard like it was like somebody thinking I just want to cry. So it's an intense energy for this pile, and it's gonna be okay. It's like the situation you've been enduring for it. I feel like you've been enduring it for quite some time, and it's been a deeply emotional ride. Again, unseen with the heart. Like you've been keeping it all to yourself. You've been keeping a lot of the pain to yourself. And then with that sky card in reverse, it's from the Lenormand deck. It's like in the middle. Yeah. It's like the problem just, whatever it is, it just won't go away, right? And like you have wide open and heal the ouch. That's you basically surrendering to the higher power, arms wide open, praying to God to heal the ouch, to fix the situation that you find yourself stuck in. It could be anything, but I'm getting two very dominant categories, okay? The first one is health, whether it's your health or someone close to you, their health. And the second one is like, it's love, romantic connections, possibly family oriented. So I'm going to start with the first one. So again, if health is the problem here, yours or someone close to you, it's just been weighing a toll on your life. And I see some of you, I see a lot because it came through heavy as I was shuffling. Fertility issues are a predominant health issue for this pile. Not all of you, but like a lot of you, that may be the issue. And I don't say that just because you have the fertility card, but I say that because like you even have dynamic, which is almost like an it's giving irregular, complex menstrual cycle, and then which doesn't have to be the biological woman in the situation that's having fertility issues, but it's giving something irregularity, whether it's any other aspect of your health. And then I have that skies in reverse. It's also giving failure to harvest, right? Like a possible miscarriage or a crop or seed not taking. I'm seeing some people have vision and eye issues. I'm seeing heart, blood pressure, headaches, anything that could be related to the crown, those things of that nature. But again, anything relating to health that you or someone close to you is suffering through. If you're having health issues, whatever it is, that skies in reverse, like that, whatever that energy is, whatever your issues are regarding treatment, if they can't figure out what's wrong, if they know but you don't have access to the treatment, some people, very small percentage, may need some type of transplant but can't find a donor. It's looking very optimistic coming in. Just the fact that this became a pile is very optimistic, because the question is, what's the new beginnings? What's the blessings coming in? So the fact that if you are having health issues, that's what popped up for you in selecting this pile, that shows that that's going to be the new beginning, the blessings, that a resolution to that issue. like your spread opens up with the fertility card, which doesn't necessarily mean fertility in terms of needing to conceive, wanting to conceive a child. Fertility is just fruitful in any endeavor. So it could be anything related to your health that is fertile now. And with the spread closing with the Hierophant, like that's just okay. I got a side message coming in. Just bear with me. Okay, some of you here, and again, makes sense, deeply religious pile. Some of you need to go to church, mosque, temple, whatever your religion is. Wherever you go, you haven't been in a while and need to go. And if you're in a new location since the last time you went, there's one very close to you that will give you the support you need. Okay? I'm seeing that it will become a new spiritual home for you. Okay, so I'm going to try to figure out what my original point was before that came through. I think the point that I was trying to make is that what your new beginning is, the blessing coming in is a solution to this health issue that's plaguing your life. Okay, so I'm not done with you people that are here resonating with this health energy. I just want to introduce the next category, because I don't want to, I feel like the nature of the resolution is going to be similar or related for all of you in this pile. So I want to introduce them and just kind of touch on that energy so the people that are resonating with that side of it can see. So second category group, love and romance. Those of you that are single have been praying for a romantic connection. Okay, I'm feeling that you're very lonely and you're at a point where you're starting to really desire a family. You may have someone specific in mind, but I'm seeing that most of you do not. Okay, those of you that are in romantic connections currently, you're likely married, especially with all of these religious themes in the pile. Those of you in this situation are really struggling right now in the current connections. Okay, I'm seeing lots of turmoil, and the way that you're trying to maneuver the relationship simply isn't working anymore. So you're really relying on your faith to get through it, and it's gonna be okay. You're kind of debating on whether or not you're going to leave this person. It feels like a very difficult decision for you, especially because you feel very religious to me, but you also feel stuck, and I can tell you don't really want to be in the situation. Now there's within this group, within this subset of people that are in a romantic connection, some of you want to work it out. Some of you are simply done and are just struggling with that. And I'm even seeing some of you with that unseen in the heart. Some of you already kind of secretly have your eye, heart, and mind on someone else. When it comes to you not wanting to be in that relationship anymore. Okay, let's just recap the group so no one gets lost or confused. Group 1 is health, whether it's yours or someone close to you. Group 2 is love and romance. There's a singles group. There's 2 couplings group, like where you're in a romantic connection where you're kind of done and want to move on, or you're in this coupling and you really want to work it out. So, oh, and also to clarify, some of you resonating with the second group that fall into any of the groups of love and romance, you need to physically go to like church as well. Like if whatever your physical religious place is, you need to go. Especially my singles, because a lot of you will either meet your romantic match there, or You're going to meet someone through a related event or initiative, I see. Okay, I keep hearing you'll like this place near you. Okay, so lots of information for pile 3, and it's good. So I just want to recap the new beginnings for this pile so far are healing of whatever form needed, whether it's emotional healing, spiritual healing, physical healing. A lot of you are going to find a new religious home or step back into the routine of going to your old one. So that's so far what we have. And the healing, this blessing is going to appear to come from nowhere. It's going to feel miraculous, regardless of what energy you're identifying with, like whatever storyline, okay? And I'm hearing don't be afraid to share your story. Now take that as it resonates, okay? I'm hearing that people can't help you if they don't know you're suffering. Okay, especially with wide open and heal the ouch. And you're also encouraged to continue on this path of nurturing your connection to spirit. Okay, you've got crown chakra and the lovers. And if you look at those tarot cards, the lovers is leading into the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands it's a burst of new creative energy. And that energy is propelling to the Four of Wands. That's a celebration, a new foundation, stability, could be a marriage, especially next to the Hierophant, because the Hierophant is also a stable entity. One of its symbols is a religious organization, but it could be any organization, right? So I'm seeing a lot of you people here in terms of health. It looks like the health people may be switching doctors, facilities, and hospitals soon. And you're going to get exactly what you need once this happens, okay? Some of you specifically are going to go to one of those hospitals that's religious based. Like, you know how there's those hospitals, but they're faith-based hospitals, they're private institutions, like real hospitals, but like the area I'm in has a few. That's why I'm specifying in that way. So I feel like a lot of you are going to go, or some of you are going to go that route. I'm seeing if your health issue is fertility based specifically, okay? If you look at these tarot cards, I think you can see, yeah, you can kind of see. Look at how beautiful the spread is. Even if you don't know what they mean, you can see the story, right? So you have the lovers, right? Merging into that creativity of the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is literally conception here. And if you look at the card following that one, you have the Four of Wands. That energy of putting down roots, starting a family, right? So we basically go from a couple in the Lovers card to that conception. You see that burst of energy, and then the next scene is a couple with a child, okay? In that Four of Wands, the Hierophant. Now, remember, the Hierophant is like a physical manifestation of spirituality, okay? It could represent a child entering this world, okay? So those of you looking for love, it's the same thing. You'll meet someone to start a family with. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that for a lot of you singles. Like you're about to meet someone that's going to get you what you're desiring, which is, you know, that love, that connection, and to start a family. Especially with that Four of Wands and that Hierophant, like that's key marriage and wedding vibes. Also, some of you, if you're dating someone and it's casually, or even if you're just dating someone for a while and it's going well, expect a proposal or some other form of long-term commitment. And guys, honestly, it doesn't have to be one or the other. your lives are multifaceted. You may resonate with this pile and another pile. You may resonate with multiple aspects of this one. Like you may have health issues. You may be seeking a partner. Like it could be any combination of what's here. It's a general reading, so you just have to take what applies to you. But I'm definitely seeing long-term commitment stepping in for a lot of singles or people that have not stabilized. But those of you that are in romantic situations or marriages where it's a bit rocky right now, and that happens, okay? That's completely normal. But let me start with those of you that are scandalous, okay? I'm not judging you. I promise I am not. I just really like that word. Those of you still in one situation with your eyes on another. Now, you're going to soon realize, or the opportunity will open where it just becomes very clear that it's best for everyone involved if you just pursue the one your heart already belongs to. I'm not judging. I'm the reader. I deliver the message, okay? I'm genuinely not, because the reality is, if you're in a situation where you and the other party is not content and it's not working, you're just causing more stress for you and this other person. If it's better to release one another in peace. It just is. So, especially since you're already preoccupied in another situation, whether or not you feel like whether or not you feel you chose this. Okay. So I do see why you're conflicted, because this other person seemingly came out of nowhere and just snatched your heart. And I can see your guilt, and it just feels like it's not necessarily in your nature to be unfaithful. Not that you have. I don't know if you have. That's not the reading. But your desire to no longer be with your current partner and to be seeking another, it's clear, and you've been struggling with it. That's probably why you've been diving deeper into your faith. Regardless, I can see that everyone in the situation will be better off once you move accordingly, and you're gonna be very happy with this person. I'm hearing that you'll be the happiest you never thought possible. So, there's that. So those of you in romantic connections or marriages where you genuinely want to work things out with your partner, that Ace of Wands represents a reignited passion. See, it's following the Lovers. Right now, you may not feel like the Lovers, but that's the energy coming in. It's a reignited passion between the two of you coming in once you become more open, honest, and understanding, okay? Like I'm seeing counseling, possibly therapy. And it'll be like when you first got together, you might even like that new spark you might have another child if you have children, or your first child if you do not. But I'm also seeing that the two of you should probably go to church together. Like all of those other messages apply to you too as well. And honestly, it's very interesting, because I know religious people don't tend to gravitate towards like tarot readings and everything, but it is becoming more mainstream. But I'm just getting heavy clinging to your faith and religious vibes, just because I feel like that's what's gonna bring you peace, and that's what spirit wants to emphasize for this pile. So that's interesting. But like I said, try not to get confused. Hopefully I wasn't too confused confusing about with the two groups of the couplings, because I know it like you it may I'm hoping it's easy to see which group you fall in. Obviously, if you know you're not preoccupied with someone else, and you want to work out your situation, that you're in that group. And just because I say that someone's preoccupied with someone else doesn't mean that it has to be your energy specifically. Okay, so I want to pull some oracle cards like I did for the other two piles, because like I said, even though this is a timeless reading, it's the full moon in Libra, so I want to pull some Moonology and Spirit de la Lune cards. So give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with your additional cards, and you have, from the Moonology deck, you have full moon in Gemini, and it says the answers you need are coming. And then you have full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So what did I say earlier? Like, boom, out of nowhere, a miracle. Like, it's interesting because the cards, the way I put them, they're kind of mirroring. So like, that full moon in Aries card is giving me that Ace of Wands conception of something, child, or just the beginning of something, right? It's the beginning of finding out what you need or something. That's what that Aries card is giving me, especially above that Ace of Wands. And I know this is a timeless reading, but if you're watching it in real time, it is currently Aries season until April 21st. So something may happen relating to the situation within this time period, okay? I'm also seeing, like, okay, so you know how I said the Aries card is reminding me of the Ace of Wands? Well, Gemini rules the Lovers. Like, that is the ruler of the Lovers card. So, and that's the order they fell in too. So it was the Gemini card and Aries card, just the way that the Lovers moves into that Ace of Wands energy. So I thought that was a cool correlation. And like, Gemini season is May 21st through June 21st. So like I said, this is a timeless reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But those of you watching it in real time, something may happen in that period of Aries season and in Gemini season, just because I feel those correlations. And the Gemini is definitely a thing, because you have the Gemini card and the Lovers is ruled by Gemini. I'm also taking this heavy Gemini energy as some of you may have twins. So just, you may. And some of you are going to be meeting your twin flame in this time period, or the next blessing, the next new beginning you have will be with that person. Some of you will come into union with your twin flame if you already know who that is. It's just, that's the heavy themes I'm getting from this pile, especially now that those cards have come through. Now, the two Spirit de la Lune cards, which you probably can't see because they're more design based and the words are tiny, but that is okay because I read. You have the Waning Moon, which is the B card. And this is important because with all you have going on, Pile 3, it's so important to just live in the present moment without anticipation of the future. Okay? It's better for your health, regardless of which part you identified. It's just healthier all around for your mental state. But it also encourages you to allow yourself to be who you are, feel what you feel freely without judgment, right? Because I feel like there's a heavy theme of judging yourself for whatever circumstance you identify with from this pile. Lots of self-judgment, self-guilt, okay? Like I said, there's many different circumstances that fall within this pile, and it's just important to know that you should not allow guilt to consume you whether the guilt stems from the frustration with your body and how it won't function how you want it to, or if the guilt stems from just your desires you feel you shouldn't have, things of that nature. Now, that second card from that deck is the planting moon. Okay, seeds are being planted, y'all. Just letting y'all know. It says preparation. Okay, so planting seeds for the future. The question here is, what is the future you wish to see, to live, right? You have to start planning, preparing now. So these two cards encourage you to be present while laying the foundation for your desired outcome. Okay, and if you read them all as I laid them out, like it literally says, the answers you need are coming, a fiery climax approaches, be prepared. Okay, that feels like something coming in hot. So just expect miracles, expect things to work out better than you expected, better than you had hoped. I think everything's going to be okay, Pile 3. I really want to stress that because I can feel your stress. I know you've been through a lot, okay? So that is all I have for you today. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.